Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds. It's Friday, thank God. So, round one of the U.S. Open is complete. Your thoughts on an early favorite, sir?
Well, they're favorites because the field is tightly bunched. But the fact of the matter remains that all week long we've heard about how tough this Los Angeles Country Club North course is going to be. They've never had the Open there, never. And the club was open, well, actually the course was open in 1928, I think it was. The club was opened in the late 1800s. But never before has it opened. It's tough. The narrow, actually the rough is very tough indeed. And everybody's going to say it's high scores. Well, it's so high that the U.S. Open record for low scores was broken twice in this tournament. One by Ricky Fowler and the other by Xander Schauffele. They are both at 8 under par's first time in Open history. Any golfer, and this time it's golfers, had shot an 8 under in a round at the U.S. Open. That's phenomenal. Tough course. All right, who's in second place? Well, there's one golfer in second, 7 back. Actually, there are two golfers at 6 under, and they are Dustin Johnson and Wyndham Clark. And then there's a field at 5 under that's very close at hand as well. So this is very much anybody's tournament. Los Angeles Country Club course is tough, but these are pros, and they are making it look relatively easy with 2 records yesterday.
Man, I'm looking forward to some Father's Day weekend naps, watching some golf. I'll tell you what. The Oakland A's could not get any financial backing when they were in Oakland, but all of a sudden they say they're going to Vegas. Now everyone wants to help them build a new stadium. When's that coming to fruition?
Well, actually it took some doing because the Nevada legislature did stall on their first vote, but yesterday they did pass the bill. And there will be public funding for the Oakland A's when they decide to move to Oakland, or Las Vegas. So when will that be? Well, the lease on the Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum ends after next season, 2024 season. And I doubt very much that Oakland wants to pay an out unless somebody helps them on that stadium. Furthermore, the new stadium in Las Vegas that they're building won't be ready until 2027. However, the caveat to that is that the Las Vegas Aviators, that's the Oakland A's AAA Farm Club, plays in a very nice ballpark. And that ballpark can be expanded. So the thinking is that probably after next year, after 2024 season, that the A's will move to Las Vegas and play in that minor league park until their new stadium's complete. That's the thinking. Might not happen. They might renegotiate with the city of Oakland for a couple more years, but that I doubt a lame duck is supported by anybody. Well, we'll see. But 2024 is probably at the end of the season when the A's will move.
Probably get those tickets pretty cheap if you happen to be in the area and you want to watch some baseball next season.
They may pay you to go.
You might actually get paid minimum wage. All right, speaking of minimum wage, College World Series, when's that start?
It starts today. There's a doubleheader, single game this afternoon, single game tonight. It is 2 games, obviously, a doubleheader. And then 2 more games on Saturday. This is up at Omaha at the stadium, the new stadium up there. And this is very nice. Texas Christian plays Oral Roberts today at 1 o'clock. I'm personally very anxious to see this game. Oral Roberts and the Bears played this year, and they split their series. The Bears have played TCU in the past. The other game tonight is the University of Virginia and the University of Florida, Virginia, Florida. That'll be a very good game. They all are. This is 8 teams vying for the national championship up in Omaha, and it all does begin today.
Who do you like in this?
I'll tell you, probably Wake Forest. They're the number 1 team in America, and they're just playing at the top of their game right now. There's something like 50-6 or something like that. And a really, really solid ball club. I think they go in as the favorite.
So, Cardinals probably needed just more than 1 day off to right the ship, probably a week off, but do you think that's going to help things going into this next series?
Well, they did take tomorrow off and now head into Citi Field in New York, actually out on Flushing Meadow, to take on the New York Mets, who are, like the Cardinals, a major disappointment this year. Now, the Cardinals are the ultimate in disappointments, being 15 games under 500. And thought to be a contender, and still might be, but hey, the chances are waning pretty quickly. The New York Mets have the largest payroll, not only in the National League, but in baseball. the largest payroll in baseball, and they're under 500. They're 3 games under 500. The Mets seemingly have a good team. They have a lot of injuries, but the fact is they've got pretty good personnel, and yet they haven't put it together. So we'll see. The Cardinals and the Mets play tonight, play actually this weekend, and then the Cardinals go down to Washington to play the Nationals. The Nationals are not very good. Great chance to break out of this slump and get back. You can't get on the positive side. There's not 15 games in this particular road trip remaining, but the fact of the matter remains that 15 games under 500, Cardinals need to get well, and they need to get well now. They're approaching the halfway point of the season. Not quite there yet, but they will be within the next couple of days, and you need to start winning.
I just don't know. It's not just one thing. That's the tough thing about the situation the St. Louis Cardinals are facing right now. It's so many different things, and that's
what we've
tough.
talked about.
Yeah.
It's the consistency of this team. They do hit, and yet the pitching falters. And then when the pitching's good, the hitting falters. You can't win doing that. You've got to be able to maintain a consistent level, and it's more pitching than anything else. Pitching is part of defense, and defense wins at any sport. And the Cardinals' defense, a.k.a. pitching right now, is not very good.
It's abysmal. All right, let's change the subject. Last night, the Kansas City Chiefs finally got a chance to see what their championship rings look like. You got a chance to see what those look like yet?
I know they have rubies in them and diamonds
gorgeous.
And everything else, and of course that's why they want them. These guys play for the rings. They don't care about the money. They do, but it's the rings that they want, and these championship rings that they have are really good.
Man, really cool stuff. They have all 3 trophies in it. Whoever designed that ring did a really good job. Kind of want one myself. All right, but the bad news when it comes to the Chiefs is Chris Jones hasn't been around for mandatory minicamp this week, but I don't think Coach Andy Reid is too worried about it.
I don't think he is either, and he said yesterday after Jones missed his 3rd drill of the mandatory 3-game or 3-day camp, he said he'll be here. He'll be here on July 23rd. That's when the Chiefs open up their training camp, and if he's not, then maybe the fines will be implemented. I doubt it, but this is part of the contract holdout by Jones, not for this year. He's under contract this year for the 4th year, but he wants an extension. And if he doesn't get a contract extension, then he becomes a free agent. Now, he's a free agent, not a kid. Jones is up there in age. He's 29, but still can play. He's still a very valuable player and a big-time pass rusher, and the Chiefs want him, and they want him long-term, and so do the Chiefs players. If no other reason, Mike, it's a message to the team itself, the players. How much do we care? What do we want? And I think therein lies the problem.
Yeah, always comes down to money. That's the problem in every single avenue of the world. While most of us were rocking down the highway at the Great Southern Bank Arena last night watching the Doobie Brothers, the Springfield Cardinals had a game as well. Did they win?
Right up the road, as a matter of fact, or down the road. It depends
across
on
the
your
street,
direction.
pretty much.
It's north. Hammons Field is north of the Great Southern Bank Arena. What kind of a crowd did they have for that?
Really good crowd. It was a great show, too. Michael McDonald by himself was worth the price of admission. He did.
Brothers have to be about as old as I am.
You don't need it. No, you got a little bit of time on them.
Not much.
Not much. Maybe like 10 years. Maybe.
Well, how about this? For a sobering fact, there are 3 pro baseball teams in Missouri. 2 of them are under 500, and they are the major league teams. The one team that's above 500, the Springfield Cardinals. And they're, in all honesty, most of the experts expected they would meet their Waterloo, facing the Tulsa Drillers. Los Angeles Dodgers, AA Farm Club, best team in the Texas League. Cardinals have won 3 straight. Beat them last night by a score of 4-1. It was good pitching, and Springfield at 31-29 now, a couple of games above 500, playing very well. There are 3 more games in this series tonight on Saturday and Sunday. Great chance to see the Springfield Cardinals playing very well and playing consistent baseball, and that's what counts.
Do something with Dad this weekend. Don't forget, it's Father's Day on Sunday. Ned, you have a wonderful Father's Day, and play some catch with Dad.
And to you, sir.